Eduardo?
He said, or Eduardo, I don't know how to say the Spanish names right, but Eduardo.
Okay.
Something like maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I heard Eduardo.
With like a G?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it might be a J if it's in Spanish. I'm not sure how they
Okay.
did it, but I'm not Spanish, but Eduardo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he said he told you that was his name?
Yeah, he said Eduardo.
Okay.
Yeah. And so maybe about like 5'8", really skinny. He had on a tool belt. Had on like a sweater vest. Well, I say sweater vest, like a cold weather vest. I think it was red. I'm not really. I don't really remember exactly, but he did have blue jeans on, and he had on the combat boots or whatever. I'm assuming in my mind that this was just this was somebody who was he looked like he was like a legit worker. There was people, like on the houses. There was people working in different areas, so I didn't think it would
Sure.
that he was a legit, not necessarily a contractor, but someone that was going to be able to.
Someone knowledgeable
Right.
to be able to.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
And I didn't explain to him what had happened. Like, I didn't say, okay, this happened. I said, we need a piece of carpet. You have the carpet for this model of home.
Okay. And what did he say?
He said yes, and I was like, do you have the carpet? And I gave him like a hand reference of like the size that I would need, and he said yes, we have a roll for that. They have the I don't know if he said they had all of them have the same in those model homes or the same color. He was saying something along. I don't really know the definition of that, but some certain homes have the same exact thing and everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you might have the same floor in one, the same, because a lot of the homes are the same every 5 houses or whatever.
Right. So like they have like 3 or 4 houses that they build over and over and over again.
Right.
Okay. And they put the same finishings in them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was my assumption that I had taken from that.
Okay. Right. And so he said that they had it, and then what happened next as far as like him having it?
So
do you need to get that?
No. It was I just always check to make sure it's not my garter.
Okay.
Yeah, because I threw down the worry, Mom. Sure. So he said he was going to bring the carpet and fix it, and I gave him the code to get into the garage.
Okay. And you had mentioned that you thought maybe you would find somebody that would want to do like a side job or whatever else. Right. How much did he say he was going to charge you for doing this and for the carpet and stuff like that?
Right. So we never had made that that conversation. I just said, hey, and I'll give you a small donation. So what I did was I said, okay, I think my ex-husband, Harley's dad, he used to work in sheetrock and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm thinking little jobs like this back home would have been like $10 an hour. Here, it's probably a little more, like $15, $20 an hour or whatever. And I said, I'll give you a small donation. You didn't ask me earlier about this part, so sorry if we left that out.
Okay.
And I said, I'll give you a small donation. And then in my mind, a donation was going to be $50. So that's exactly, I had cash. And that's exactly what I had was the $50 on the counter. And I explained that to him, that it would be on the counter. Thank you for, doing it. Make sure the garage is closed. And like I said, you didn't ask me all that, but I did go through a conversation. I just didn't be like, hey, bring the carpet. Here's the
Sure, and that's why we.
I didn't want you to think that because
that's why we
not what happened. I went through the process of make sure you close the garage back. We have a security system. I told him we had cameras. I talked it up through the conversation.
Okay.
To let him know that this is the steps and the processes and stuff like that to follow.
Okay. So let's talk about that conversation a little bit, just because we didn't, and that's why we go back and get more information and everything else like that. So he says he has the carpet, and then did you ask him okay, can I just have the carpet, or did you ask him can you fix it for me, or did he volunteer to fix it for you?
What do you mean just have it?
Did you ask him if he would just give you the carpet, or I
was going to be like a package deal. I was assuming, because it's just I wasn't asking for the carpet for the size room. I gave him the size. So in my mind is he's bringing a scrap like rolls or scraps or whatever. That's already some extra from a job.
Okay. So you didn't ask him to just bring you carpet so you could fix it. You asked him to come and fix it for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had it in my mind to fix it,
mm-hmm.
but then I was you have to measure, and then because I changed tools, one side was going to be this length, so if you cut it different on that side, and it just was a little out of my what I thought process so that I could.
Okay, yeah. Have you, like, if you've never done carpet before, I would imagine that, like, trying to patch something would be kind of hard.
Right.
Especially if you had to use different stuff to cut it. Okay. Okay. So he agrees to come to your house to fix it, so you give him the address.
Yes. I went through the whole spiel of here's where it's at, like here's money, how much, we do back home. I mean, it was probably like a good 2 to 3 minute conversation of the specifics that needed to be done. And I did that out of panic because I needed to get it fixed. I didn't want to put it on Craigslist because people say call me or this and they upcharge and we need to replace the whole section and things like that.
And did he tell you like what he would charge you, or did you just say this is how much I'm willing to pay?
No, I just immediately said that I was going to give a donation, like in the terms of I didn't really have a lot to give you, but can you like hook me up? But I kind of was like, can you like hook me up like that? Being more of like a please do this for me, I really need it type. I don't have a lot of money.
Like a favor?
Yeah, thing. I mean, because if he's on the job working and he makes so much an hour and can make an extra $50 that day, that was $150 might turn into $200.
Gotcha.
So in my mind of thinking of doing that was back to the times that Harley's dad would do the same thing. He would be like, don't go pay a subcontractor. Just go get someone who wants to work after hours, or whatever. And so that was my thought process. That'd be cheaper, faster. Someone will come do it right away, and then we're done with the situation.
Okay. So, what did you tell him as far as like how to get into the house and stuff like that?
What do you mean how to get? I just gave him the garage code.
Okay.
And I explained where the carpet needed to be replaced.
Okay.
There's no like when you enter in a home, there's no like specifics. You just upstairs, downstairs. That's it.
Okay. So you told him it was downstairs and kind of the area that it was in, or you walk downstairs, you would have saw it. Okay.
Like it wouldn't have been like you needed to go search for it. I mean that's common sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I haven't.
No, I'm not saying you common sense. I'm saying to the person that's common sense, like there's carpet, Because see, I had took the rug right here when I showed the police when they came. I had took the rug and put like a piece of carpet that was on it. But the problem with the piece of carpet that was on it was that was a piece of carpet that was from the outside.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we walk on it. And
it was like an extra piece.
Right. And I mean, sure, they could have, used the same carpet, but I needed a carpet to fit a specific size. So if someone had extra carpet, then why not go ahead and fix the whole thing, Sure. And we could have a little extra roll for hopefully if there's ever any emergencies or anything like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought that there would have been some somewhere. Like.
In your house?
Right.
Okay.
Because, like, sometimes, I know, like, when we had our home, we sold it, we left our square, what are they called, the hardwood floors? Mm-hmm. We left, like, maybe, like, 10 little sheets and things like that. So, like, I thought, but in my mind, like, okay, no, I'm just going to go. I hadn't seen anything, so I had to,
go
find it, yeah.
Okay.
And you act so much differently when you're trying to be impulsive and hurry up and get it done, quick decision, when I probably could have just been like, hey, let's look at something that we have maybe in the back corner. We could have cut a piece out or something like that. But I didn't want to go messing up another lady's house.
An old lady's house?
Another lady's house. Like, it's her house. Like the renter, like the owner. We rent from them.
Okay, so you rent.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. I thought you guys owned.
No.
My bad. Okay. So, so you left, so you went there. You said that he was about 5'8"?
Yeah.
Okay. What color hair did he have?
I say 5. Because my husband's 6 foot, just a little bit shorter, skinny, dark hair like mine. You might think I'm Hispanic, so like I'm really brown in the summer, but
he wasn't. Brown hair too. That doesn't mean you're Hispanic.
I know, but people always think that. So skin complexion was a lot darker than mine.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want me to give you like a Sephora skin complexion thing, but I would say like middle to tannish color.
And was his hair, like, did it have texture to it? Was it straight? Was it curly?
Well, he had a thing on his head, so it was like a little, I don't know, like a little hat piece or something. And it was just, I can't tell you like a hairstyle because he had like a little brown like strap thing around it, but it was just like almost like jet black hair.
Okay.
but it wasn't like long.
Okay. And then, what was his face shape like?
Maybe like a little chubbier than mine.
Okay.
Like more rounded.
Was there anything about his face that like stands out that would help us be able to find him? Like that would you be able to be like, that's the guy right there? Like, did he have?
Well, I would notice there was like
or...
some bad saying, but like maybe like a little bit of is it craters or like the little holes. I don't say holes. You know, like you know how you can see some people and it's got like a little like holy like skin from the acne.
Like acne
scars? Yeah, like scars.
Okay, yeah, like, that's really good stuff.
Yeah,
so don't feel bad about telling.
So like acne, like scars were kind of like present just a little bit there.
Okay.
And not bad though, not like, you know, super bad, but it could have been like even more like wrinkles or like whatever. But it's just a little section of like right here, but you can tell it was just like from like age or whatever.
Okay.
Or maybe even from dryness. I don't know. I wasn't giving him a skin consultation, but I do remember there was like little spots here.
Okay. Did he have any facial hair?
Yes. He had a mustache that went right here, like around in this area, and that was completely it.
Okay.
It went like this here. Like the...
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you this because I don't know how to say the wording.
Okay, just a mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said his hair was like jet black.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember like could you tell approximately how long it was?
For his hair?
Like, was it long, short?
Yeah, I just told you that. I just said it wasn't long. It was the belt like barely fit around it and like flat, like, you know, like little flat pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
So not bald, but not long. Nothing was hanging on the shoulders or anything like that.
But it wasn't like a military cut or anything like that.
Yeah, no, not a military cut or anything else.
Okay, so kind of like medium length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, how old do you think he was?
I would say easily late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
But and based upon me thinking that too about the facial structure. You know how you can look at some people's skin and the elasticity or whatever, and it's different. So like those little, you could tell that had been there for a while.
Okay.
Almost like it was like a, I don't say a sunburn, but almost like you could just tell something had been. That's the very unique feature I just wanted you to have, because that wasn't something that, you know, like, hey, did the person have lipstick? This was, you know, on their face that's going to be permanent.
Sure. Do you remember seeing any tattoos or any other like
no,
large
I didn't remember seeing.
I
just remember the vest. I didn't see any tattoos. He had a shirt under the vest. I don't shirt or jacket.
Okay.
I mean, like I say under the vest, but like you know how you have the vest over and people wear the shirt. Yeah, that's like a Colorado thing. So that's kind of. Yeah.
What color was the jacket? Do you remember? Or
I just remember the red part, because remember I told you earlier I was like, I think it's red, but I was talking about this top layer. Yeah.
That the vest was red.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know if you remembered what color the shirt was that was underneath.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
And then you said he had boots on.
Yeah, he had on like the Rocky boots, or like the construction boots that everybody wears.
Do you remember what color they were?
Yeah, they were that light tan, called like a sand.
Okay.
And he had, remember I told you he had the belt thing. I don't know, everybody has a belt, but I just.
You said it was a tool belt?
Yeah, it was like a strap thing that had a pocket. A hang.
Okay.
And remember I told you that it was jeans. But I don't remember like a specific color. It was just, oh yeah, you know, you see somebody, you're like, oh, person in the black shirt, person or whatever. I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I do, but the face did stick out, and I wish I was good at drawing, because I'd want you to notice that or whatever. And it was like more rounded, kind of like craters type things.
Sure. And then, and you went through the fact that, so you guys left there and you went to Petco?
Well, we already talked about, I don't know if I got gas beforehand or not, but I told you guys I would be more than willing to give you the information from exact travel for the route. But we immediately left the Worsted Ranch area, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was, you had said you were going to leave him the cash on the bar. Did you go back and put that there, or were you going to, or had you left that there whenever you left?
No. So we have, I always have, everything that was in the with all the notes and everything like that was in the drawer that sits on this side of the kitchen or whatever.
Okay.
I had cash put in there because I had gotten I was playing the lottery, so I had gotten cash back from the lottery, and I had already laid it out on the counter. My mindset was the reason I already laid it on the counter was not because I had it predetermined I was going to leave it out for a specific person. I already had it laid out on the counter because I was going to give that money to Harley until because Harley has been paying on the dog because Chance, we financed him.
Okay.
Like, I say finance him, but she's paying him back or whatever, and we always give her a portion of Chance and a portion of her car payment. So I was going to give that back to her anyway.
Okay.
And so in that moment, I don't even remember when I came in that I checked to see that the whole month, I left her $100, but
okay.
I didn't check in the moment if that $100, like when I walked in, I didn't say, hey, there was only 20 there. And my mind wasn't thinking about, like, it was gone, so I thought, okay. But in my conversation with him, here's how much you want to do, donation, blah, blah, blah. So when I come in, I didn't think to go look to see if he left the remainder of the $100. Like, that just wasn't in my mindset, because
it was already there on the counter whenever you had left.
Right, and that was just because when Harley got in, I was going to tell her that was usually, like, I Zilly her money, or, like, whatever we pay.
You what?
Zilly.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, everyone else does Zilly, like, so it's kind of like Apple Pay or whatever.
Okay.
But so usually, like, I Zilly her money or things like that. But Albert knows this. I haven't had my USAA credit card in such a while, so I didn't have a way to, to go get it or whatever, so I had lottery ticket money.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll just use the lottery ticket money that I'd been stashing to go buy new lottery tickets.
Okay. And do you remember, was that, like, when you put it out there, was it like 20s, 50s,
Yeah, so it's
10s?
It's always 10s, and the reason it's always 10s is because I tell myself I'm not playing anything like above the 10 amount.
Okay.
And I go to the save weight all the time and put it in that machine. So
okay.
if you put more than $10 in that machine, they're going to keep it, and you have to.
Oh, okay.
You have to ask, like, I put a 20 in there, you got to spend 20 in lottery tickets.
Okay. So you had $10 or $100 in $10 bills on the counter when you left.
Yes.
Okay. So you weren't worried, you didn't have to go back to, like, put that back out for him before you went out?
Yeah, no, and I didn't intentionally, like, leave it out and say, whatever. In my mind when I left, because I didn't know, like, hey, what time. I didn't have a specific time. I knew I needed to be back before Lena, but usually Harley gets off at 3:15, so I was assuming she might meet me back home.
Okay.
But she worked. Remember I told you, like, they were having people having to take shifts and all that. So she ended up working till later in the day.
Sure. Okay. All right. So, and then you come home. Let's talk about what happens when you come home. Okay. And I know that that it can be difficult to talk about. So.
And I did want to talk about that part without. I'm one of those people that tries to like not think that mental health is always an issue or like things like that. And in my mind, I was afraid of the whole, like, oh, it causes mental health problems, like that type of thing. So, so talking about it, I'm trying to, like, don't think if I'm, like, emotions, I'm trying to be the blocker to think that I'm not going to let that be a stigma, that I'm going to have mental health problems because of this. So that's...
No, and what I was going to say is because, I've been a special victims unit detective, and so I've had to investigate different types of assaults and sex assaults and stuff like that with adults and children. Right. And so I just kind of want to let you know, and this is, I would let anybody that I was going to have this conversation know that that's what I've experienced with, and that it can be a hard thing to talk about, and that I understand that. And that it can be kind of a sensitive subject, and, like, people don't always want to say specifics, but for us, like, to be able to document everything and to be able to really pursue it, we have to get into the specifics, and I just want to apologize up front for that, because I know it can be uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Are you okay?
Do I have to talk about that? I don't want you to like mess it. Like I don't want to be dreaming and stuff anymore.
I'm sorry, you don't want what?
Like dreaming. I don't want to dream anymore about. Maybe I keep saying it. And like in my mind, I keep saying it. And I'm trying to block it, and I'm fighting a battle, blocking out exactly everything, you know.
Sure. Well,
I
so
mean, if you would just ask, like, I could say yes or no. Or I just don't want to be like really specific in terms of. Are you talking about like you're gonna ask me questions about like?
So what I'd like you to do is start by telling me what you remember hearing whenever you came in that day, and then and as you walk me through it, I'll have to ask you some questions. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So you, and correct me if I get anything wrong. Okay? You had said earlier that whenever you came in, that you thought maybe that Gannon had come into the house first.
I'm almost positive he went into the house first because I had to get the bags that we had purchased.
Okay.
Like the Petco bag.
Sure. And you guys came in through the garage, correct?
I want to say the garage. I'm like 80% that it was the garage because we parked on the front with Albert's truck.
Okay. So you come in through the garage. Gannon has already come inside.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you remember seeing whenever you come inside?
I usually always go in to think about, you know, hey, I need to let the dogs out. Hey, I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that is my mentality, is to go in to do that. And the alarm could tell if no, it won't, because I had put those things on there. See, that's where the hard part is, because I can't give you the exact time, because yeah, it might. Some of the sensors, remember I told you I had the things going on and we had put the little towel things on them or whatever? Some of the sensors were picking up, but some of them weren't. So I can't give you the like exact time. If I went in, I could tell you if I went in and went upstairs or went downstairs first by the motion. But the motion was all off because I had put
towels on.
Right.
You hadn't pulled those down from the night before yet?
Yeah, like in my mind, that was not like...
Sure.
Some of them, like the one in the corner, like hangs off the side, so it might have picked it up or it might have not. So if it wasn't for that, I could tell you by that, did I go straight in and go straight to the basement? Because it would say like,
well, so
upstairs
I want to, so with this kind of conversation, it's really all about what you remember and what your perspective is. Okay.
So I remember it was just basically being, you know, like normal, because I'm excited. We got, you know, new clothes for the pets, and we're coming in the door, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
The day's halfway through. I knew I had specific responsibilities to continue out through the rest of the night. My brain hadn't said, hey, you need to go check or anything with the money yet, because I just wasn't on that, you know, that direction yet.
Sure.
I was on the direction I wanted to work out, I wanted to listen to my music, I wanted to just, you know, like relax. That was my mindset. So it wasn't to be like, okay, this here, this here, this here. That type of thing.
Sure.
It should have been, because I gave someone the code to get into our house, but in my experience in Lorson Ranch, it's been that, you know, most everyone has people, they give people their codes and let them come in and fix things, and, you know, like you can do the Amazon packages and have them delivered inside the door. So
sure.
I wasn't thinking, you know, like I need to run in and check, make sure it's okay. If I felt that I was doing a harmful situation, that would have been my first off, I wouldn't have done it, but second off, I would have went in immediately and been like, did he fix what he's supposed to do? Did he think missing from the home? That would have been my initial thing. So it was a normal, I want to listen to music, I want to work out, I don't know, I might have got something to drink, up and down, dogs, that type of thing. That would have been my, you know, mentality. But I didn't hear anything until I had my headphones on, and I thought, like, it's one of those things where you thought you heard something, because, like, the downstairs, if anybody makes any kind of noise, like a boing, it's like, it echoes really loud.
Oh, really?
Like, it has, like a louder echo through the vents.
Okay.
So even sometimes, whether you were asking about noise counseling or not, even, like, having things on or not, sometimes it's just the way that, you know, they're sitting on there, you'll hear something, you know, and that was, like, you know, almost like an echo noise.
Okay.
And that was, and below my room would be that storage room.
Okay.
So
you were in your room when you heard that?
So when I heard that, I don't remember if I was I know I had the headphones on.
Okay.
So I don't remember if I was in the room or walking back and forth. because I had a big speaker box over here, and then either I play the big speaker or play the headphones or however on the big speaker back and forth. So I don't know if I was like here, there. Again, I wish I could give you the motion thing because that would give you a better time, like at 254 to whatever, 25 here, here, like that. But when I heard it, that's when I was just kind of like, oh, did I hear something? Remember, I even told you earlier, I had a couple of times before I even thought that would be of a concern.
Sure. So when you thought you heard something, what happened next?
So I don't remember if it was one or two times or whatever that I kind of was like doing this here, and like back and forth, and that's when I told you that I, started to walk down the stairs, and I told you that Gannon was on to the right of the area.
Okay.
Like when you walk down the stairs, he was on the right of the area.
Okay.
And the guy was over here.
Okay. And was the guy just out, or?
No, the noise was probably because of like moving around, I guess, or whatever. And the door was like almost not necessarily like a semi-crack, but well, maybe a little semi-crack. I don't know if he was looking out, like peeking out or anything like that. And so I noticed that someone was right there. Okay. And that's when immediately it was just, there was no, it wasn't like, hey, how are you? It was, if someone's in your home, they're not there to, when they're not supposed to be doing whatever, they're not there to like talk to you. It was immediate from then on. That it went to that, and Gannon came in.
Okay.
Try to get on.
So
blah, blah, blah.
let's slow all that part down. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you go downstairs. You notice somebody's there. What's the next thing that happens?
So I noticed that he was there, and he had. I told you when I went in my room earlier. One of the things that I remember triggered, not that it triggered, but I thought was odd. But I had my shades, and I remember I told you my doors were open to the cabinet in the room.
Okay.
So I noticed that they were open. So that kind of in my mind was like, did I leave that open? But that also set off the fact of when your brain runs rapidly and you're looking, you're like, oh gosh, that's why that door was open.
Okay.
That
so like you put it together.
Right. I put it together very, very quickly. And so that part ran back in my mind. And so immediately when he saw that, he saw me, I don't know if the intentions was to us to come in that soon. I don't know the intentions if it was to do anything, because I don't think the intentions was going to be like take anything from us, because it was he already had on gloves. He already had obtained a gun from our home, like had already done those things, and immediately it was in attack mode for me.
Okay.
And from there, and I didn't mention to you, I did go in the cabinet because I take a lorazepam for anxiety, and I was like already super anxiety from like having all this, like going on and stuff with the like fire and stuff like that. So I took 2 lorazepams. So I did go in and take two lorazepams and blah, blah, yada, yada.
And that was in the cabinet, the lorazepam, or was that somewhere else?
Like in the kitchen?
No, you said that you went in. So where was
the lorazepam? I'm sorry. Like in the kitchen, we have a kitchen cabinet. I should say that to you. Okay. The cabinet that I'm talking about that the doors are is a bedroom cabinet. I say cabinet. It's like a armoire, like a smaller one that has doors that open. Okay. I should specify cabinet thing or something. Right. The bedroom one, the kitchen one would be where the
medication.
Right. So I did take. That's why I said I think I might have got something to drink or something, but I did take 2 lorazepams. Okay. And so that I did do that, and then I did come down with it.
Okay. So just so we're clear, the kitchen cabinet was where your medication was. Describe for me the armoire in the bedroom where the shades and your gun would sit.
So you want to know like what's in it, or like what?
What does it look like? What color is it?
Sorry, so it's silver, almost like a chromish color with like glass. Okay. And it does have handles, like little knobs that you can pull on or like pull open. And then of course they have like I keep my important documents in there, like a passport or.
Does it have drawers or anything?
No drawers. Okay. It has the insert.
Like the shelf?
Yeah, the shelf.
Okay, perfect. And where does that fit in your bedroom?
If you walk in the room, like say I'm like opening the door, walking in the room, it's exactly right here.
Okay. And does it sit on something, or does it have its own feet?
Like is it on feet?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure that we're talking about
Yeah, it has its own feet. Okay. Yeah, and like if I had to do like I don't know what, samples or whatever, I just wanted to tell you about the medicine because I didn't want you to be like, oh. Well, I mean, it's prescribed to me anyway, so.
Yeah, sure, that's not
Yeah, and I had already taken one that morning, too, so it was just, I don't have to take them in panic attacks, but I just had taken a lot, I don't say a lot of it, that sounds bad, but I'd taken, I don't take any at all unless I'm having a panic attack. And I had.
So it was a little bit more than usual.
Right, just because it was just, like,
okay,
the whole anxiety of it.
So you go downstairs, and you see him, and you said that he had already found a gun.
He had already been in the home, like in our home, like moving, like I say moving, like doing something, because you wouldn't have just walked in and known, hey, there's something here. You just had to go in, and most people would probably look through drawers and things like that. I don't know. I'm not making that assumption. That's what he did. I'm just saying he had already obtained one. By the time I can't speak for what, like what went on or
and
anything
I'm not
of that
asking
nature.
you to.
Okay.
What? Can you describe the gun for me?
So it was our black gun.
Black gun.
I don't know what make and like what the brand was or whatever.
Okay. Was it? Do you know whether it was like a revolver or like a like a
no
pistol?
automatic? It's automatic.
Automatic.
Yeah, like you just pull the trigger.
Okay. And is that like, and do you know the caliber maybe?
I think it's the 380 maybe.
380.
Or 9, one of those.
Okay. So you said it was y'all's black gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many guns do you guys have?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind are they?
I don't know the big one that Albert has. It's kind of like an AR or something.
Okay.
And then there's the shotgun, and then the two. I think they're both 380s.
380?
Yeah, I think it's like a 380.
Sure.
They're both 380s.
Okay. And are they both black, or like sometimes they have like the colorful ones?
Yeah, mine's like a teal color.
Okay. So you have a black one and a teal one.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 I just wanted to cover that really quick. Okay. So you go downstairs. He's already obtained a gun. You think it's your black gun.
Well, no, I don't think. I saw the color black.
Okay.
So I was assuming, where I told you that my mind went through that was like
That it was
our black gun.
right.
Now, at that time, I wasn't 100% if it was or not, because there's plenty of black guns.
Sure. So tell me what happens next.
So, do you want me to go through the whole assault again?
Well, we need to know like more specifics about it. So you said you saw him and that he had the gun and that he attacked you. How did he attack you?
I know you said you worked with victims and stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to tell someone about people touching you.
Sure, I get that.
And I just need to not relive that right now. Can I get a little bit?
Like you want to take a break, or
I just, you're wanting me to give you play-by-play basically of an assault is very hard for you to ask me to do.
Okay.
That's not like me explaining how to play a game. That's very difficult to explain what you remember.
Well, and we can take it slowly, and you can tell me what you remember, what happened, and stuff like that. I want to make sure that you're okay, and I want to try and find Ganon, right?
Right.
Okay. So the more details that I have, the better it is that I'm going to be able to try and help you and to try and help Gannon. Okay?
Well, me telling you about an assault on me is not going to get, like, faster result unless we, like, actually put some action into it, you know?
What
like,
do you mean?
Like, I don't know, like, action, is it too late to, like, check your body? I mean, is it...
No, it's not.
Like, those type of things, is that,
It's not too late at all, actually. No, it's not. And if you want to do that, we can actually absolutely get that set up so that we can make that happen. So it's definitely not too late.
Is it, like, a private, like, area, or, like, how does that work?
So what it's called a SANE exam, and they're done by forensic nurses
Okay.
at the hospital.
Okay. So it's like in a actual... People
Yep.
wouldn't know that's what you're there for.
Nope. And so, I mean, well, obviously the nurses would,
Right.
but not like just whoever else is in the hospital.
Right.
No. And so, because it is like a, because it's a forensic thing and because it's part of a criminal case, you know, obviously this person who assaulted you, you know, so that we could gather evidence to make sure that, you know, when we find them, that we can prosecute them and stuff like that. We would want to take you over there to the hospital, and we get the forensic nurse to come and talk to you.
Okay.
And then they have paperwork to go over with you, just like any other kind of like bureaucracy or anything else like that,
Okay.
right? And they get your permission to gather that evidence from you and to do an exam. Okay. And they're all females, all the nurses.
Okay.
So, and, you know, they have their process that they go through, and they collect all that evidence, and then that's turned over to us.
Okay.
So it's not too late at all to do that.
So that was my...
But we need to know what happened, because just like if, you know, like, and this is just like a totally off-the-wall example, but like if your kid comes in and tells you, hey, Mommy, I'm hurt because I fell down. Well, you need to know where they fell and how they fell and whatnot so you can help them.
But that's the easy,
right,
easy thing. But when you're doing several different things in your brain, and not to mention you're being violated physically, it's hard to give that specific, you know, details. I remember the pushing me in the room. I remember having my head hit. I remember those things.
Sure. And what I'd like for
I
you
remember
to do,
my clothes getting taken off.
Okay.
Okay. But I don't want to be telling you this got taken off. I don't want to be on that.
And that's not what it is.
I would tell that to like a nurse, you know, in the specifics, so that could assist in the process. But maybe I would. I say I would, but I don't know. It's just a hard thing to be like, okay, your pants are tight. You remember this, you remember that, like that.
Sure. And really, we need to know like the narrative of it, and there will be some stuff that I would ask specifics of. And if you remember, you remember, and if you don't, you don't. Or what you can say is, you know, well, I remember that, but I don't want to say.
No, I'm not trying to not tell you anything. I just, it's just a hard process. I guess maybe I'm thinking you're asking me too much details. Maybe I'm overthinking what you're asking me. So do you want me to, like I said, do a play-by-play of what I remember, like as far as like clothing?
Well, just start at the beginning and tell me what happened, okay?
So, alright, so when he pushed me into the room,
okay,
I remember like a battle process of like, you know, like back and forth, you know, like that type of thing. I remember that type of thing.
Tell me more about that. The battle back and forth.
Well, if someone he's not much bigger than me, so it's not like it was this big, powerful person. That I mean, I feel like I'm fairly kind of a little strong. So it wasn't just here get on the ground. It was you know, like getting like move around the room. I don't really remember like which direction.
Sure.
After I hit my head the first time, that's when it started to be a little blur into what was happening next.
Okay. So. And remind me, what was it that you remember hitting your head on that first time?
I think I want to say it was that red and black table. I'm sorry, red and blue table that was in Gannon's room.
Red and blue table?
I feel like it was the red and blue table that was in Gannon's room, because I remember like going back to hit my head.
Okay. Okay. And you keep motioning back here. Did
Yeah,
you
like
the back of your head?
right. Yeah. So like it was in like well there was a couple like the ground was a big force field, but I was also fighting back. So I don't want you to think that it would have been some sort of and I did have like I was gonna like show you that I did have the blood in there a little bit because from the blood scratch, but I did have the ability to push back some because he wasn't like overpowering that. It was just like here you go. And
Sure.
That sounds awful to say, but
okay. So when you got pushed into the room, and you got pushed like you guys are doing this battle back and forth, and you hit your head, did you end up on the ground first?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't. I just remember hitting my head, and I remember the next time I hit my head, and the second time that he came back after me and tried again. So there was a couple of times that I kind of was in and out of it. And
so
not to mention, I had taken lorazepam, a little extra than usual.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, a little bit. I don't know how to say out there. I did not know. I'm like that, but it was kind of like being like zoned out a little bit.
Sure.
It was almost like I was out, like blacked out.
Okay.
Because it was one of those things where I could like hear what was going on, but I didn't like know what was going on, or vice versa.
What do you remember feeling?
There was not like pain as far as like your female part. I feel like the pain was on the struggle of like your body was tired.
Okay.
So like it's tired in trying to like your brain's telling you don't give in, but your body is just in a tired mode.
Okay.
And that was it was more of like I just almost it's almost like I was giving up, but I wasn't. Like once we were I can't talk about
that. So are you saying like once did he penetrate you?
I remember my clothes coming off. Not my top part.
Okay.
I remember the bottom. I don't remember if this was the first time or on the second time, which wasn't a successful time. I remember my clothes coming off like on the bottom, and I remember having my top on.
Okay.
And I remember I was pushing pushing back.
Sure.
And then I out of my mind, it was almost like a little blur because I hit my head again. Mm-hmm. How you're like trying to push up, mm-hmm. like to push somebody off and you get pushed back down and hit your head. Okay. And then it's kind of what it. Yeah, I just tweeted it.
I'm not gonna. Here's the thing: is that this conversation, like what we talk about, is not. I'm not gonna run and talk to your husband about or his ex-wife or anything else like that. Okay.
I don't want to say give in because I didn't agree to it, but at that point it feels like I did give in.
Okay. And thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that. When you say that you gave in and that he completed it,
I don't remember about when I say completed. I mean as in I was able to have that bolt of energy to get up again. Type of thing. I don't know if there was completed. I'm not wanting to think about that. That's just disgusting.
So I'm not asking if he ejaculated or anything else like that.
Okay,
That wasn't my
question. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what I thought.
So my question is, did he put his penis in your vagina?
Right, yes.
Okay. Do you know... Okay. Sorry, that question. And that was when you were on the ground? Okay. And you said that he was pushing you down. What part of your body was being pushed down?
I don't remember.
Okay. So you said that, like, you kind of, like, came back up?
At some point, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't want to give you wrong information about step by step about my body being violated. I don't think that's fair. Like, I don't think that's... Because then every time I have to keep saying to you, like, this is happening, and I have to say that to you again, and I have to say that to you again. It's difficult.
Okay. Was there anywhere else that you were penetrated?
No. Do you mean like an area?
Yeah, anywhere else on your body?
With this penis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And then at some point it ended. Okay. What happened next after it ended?
So, but it didn't end at that direct moment because remember Gannon comes in.
Okay.
Like,
tell me about that.
Gannon comes in to like jump on him.
Okay.
Like, to like kind of help me out.
Okay.
And so I don't remember anything but like laying back, and I remember that I could like hear that Gannon had came in.
Okay.
I could hear that he knew this is not what you're supposed to do.
That Gannon did?
Yeah, like Gannon was aware that someone was trying to harm me.
Okay.
He might not have understood the complete in essence of it, but he understood someone was in our home and wasn't supposed to be doing what he was doing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, our home, we're very open. We're always like, we talk about like, oh, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't do this until you're married. So,
Okay.
So he's very aware of, you know, like that's not how things happen.
Sure.
In his mind. So he came in
Okay.
at that point in time. And then I do remember that Gannon was, like, I don't want to say thrown, but like, he can't jump on a big guy. That's a big guy to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish
Mm-hmm.
is a big guy to him.
Sure.
Because he's full of something. And I don't remember from there. I just remember that Gannon tried to jump on him, and I remember Gannon was over here at this point in time, and then it was just kind of like a blur about what happened, but I do remember after, when I say finish, I don't mean what you're asking me about ejaculating. I do remember when that was, like, getting up,
Mm-hmm.
that it was a, situation.
So
that was when he had the gun to Gannon afterwards, not necessarily at him, but had the gun and had Gannon.
Okay. Can you tell me more about that?
So I just know that in the way he had him was kind of not necessarily at like a here, or if I had like a demo to show you, it was more of like a...
Do you have a look?
Okay. So it was more of like a just wrapped around, but like Gannon didn't, when he recognizing like the gun, he wasn't trying to at that point fight back to him. Okay. He was just crying like to me, like to help him. Okay. And so that's why I made the decision to try to send the other kids somewhere else, because what if I would have ran for help at that point in time? I had every opportunity to run for help then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a good enough shooter to like, or I really don't, to like feel like I'm going to shoot somebody, you know, because someone else has a gun too, you see what I'm saying? So I'm just not, my mind wasn't thinking that of trying to create harm if I made a dumb decision.
Okay.
And that was probably where I should have done some sneaky technique of, I thought about it after, I should have like gave Lena a letter, you know, or something like that and said, hey, go to the mailbox, take the neighbor's letter. Like, this is something I thought about after, but I didn't think about it in the time. Okay. Like, in the time frame of doing it.
So when you were on the ground and Gannon came in, what do you remember hearing?
Him yelling.
What was he yelling?
Like, he was yelling my name. like, directed specifically at me. As in, like...
Gannon was?
Yeah. Like...
What does he call you?
He goes, well, I just remember I told you about my name thing.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he
So
called
he
you.
was saying Tesha.
Tesha?
He was, like, saying, are you okay?
Okay.
And then that's when he realized I wasn't. Like, and I said I wasn't, but he realized I was kind of, like, in and out of it.
And what were you saying?
I was, like, immediately, like, doing... The first part was... Doing the first time was doing the pushback, like, get off of me, get off of me. So I wasn't...
And you said that?
But I wasn't communicating with Gannon.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't saying, Gannon, go, you know, do this specifically, or, like, I didn't say, like, run, go do it. I didn't say anything like, directly that I recall.
Okay.
Now, maybe I did that I recall wasn't specific directions, you know, to guide him in any direction. That was more of like a battle, like a back and forth thing instead of being. But at that point, I do remember, like, when I was down and you kind of get like that little concrete where your head jars back a little bit, where your head jars back a little bit, kind of made me a little, like, dizzy a little bit.
And was the man saying anything?
I don't remember anything but noises.
What kind of noises do you remember? I can't guess. That's the thing, right? So, like, I can't put words in your mouth. I can't guess. So I know, like, I'm sorry.
Like pleasure noises.
Pleasure noises?
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, like pleasure noises, but like currency sounds.
Okay. And so he's making pleasure noises, and then Gannon comes in and yells your name. What does the man do?
I don't remember specifically. He just came and yelled my name, or if he jumped first, but...
Okay. What does the man do?
It was more of like a this, but he was still inside of me.
Okay.
Kind of. I say kind of, but like, he's moving.
Okay.
So obviously, he's got to put more, like, force on your body.
Okay.
And that's just when I just started to cry. Because it was like a giving up, kind of like a giving up type moment.
I'm sorry that you are upset by that.
And it was just, because what are you supposed to do at that point?
Sure.
You keep trying to fight, but they're already taking something from you that you only have personally with yourself.
Sure. Do you remember Gannon saying anything else other than your name?
I know he was hollering help at some point, and I think that would have been when he had... I don't remember... Oh, gosh. I don't remember, like, anything other than... Oh, I think I feel like I remember the second... I think I remember around the second time of the battle he was saying, get off of her.
Okay.
But I don't... I'm telling you, when I tell you that, and I hope to God that you were never in that situation, but it's just almost like a blur because you're so disappointed in your, like, emotional feeling, like your self-worth.
Sure.
Like, and how you feel about yourself. You feel like you're nothing.
What did you smell when this was happening?
I was going to say that to you. I forgot to, like, earlier. And again, you didn't ask me that because I wasn't thinking about it. I could smell like a very strong, like, paint, or like almost like a paint, like someone had been painting, or like they were around a house that might have had the drywall. Almost like it was like a work smell.
Like you're doing this like the drywall. Are you talking about like paint or like the texture smell?
Yeah,
or?
like the powder of the drywall. You know how like you sand,
Sure.
and it has like that smell.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could smell like that part on them, but I feel like at one point I thought I smelled alcohol.
Okay. And You said that your ex, Harley's dad, did drywall. So the drywall smell is something that you would be familiar with?
He would have did it a while ago.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But I know, like, in our home and things like that, I don't want to say, like, know a lot about drywall, but just from being around the work sites growing up,
Mm-hmm.
I say growing up with him, I was young when I was with him, I remember a lot about, like drywall in general, so,
Sure.
I don't know if it's specifically drywall, it's more of like a sandpaper-ish type smell.
Okay.
Like,
Did you smell anything else? You said you smelled alcohol.
At one point, I remember smelling not like a deep, strong alcohol smell, but I could have like a sense of alcohol, like a breath of it.
Sure. Sure.
Come up like aroma.
Okay.
And it kind of was like a, I don't know, like almost like a foodish, like a salsa type smell. I remember at one point.
Okay.
Like you kind of like you walk into a restaurant and it smells like some fresh tomatoes and like that.
Okay. What do you remember feeling on your back?
Just a couple of days before this, I have been having like a lot of lower back pains like already.
Mm-hmm.
So it took that like pain away, and it was almost like it was just like, because I'm getting pushed back, but I'm straining.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost like I felt a little bit of nerve, but I didn't feel it. Like I didn't have any, hey, there's a back pain, oh, back to this. It wasn't like that. I knew that there was nerves being shifted or, changed in some direction. That it was Florida. Kind of hard.
And just remind me, you went upstairs and told Lena to go away, basically, to keep her safe. And then you came back down, and that was when he had Gannon, or he had Gannon before you did that?
You mean?
Like when you said that he had his arm wrapped around him?
Right. So once he had him, once I came back, because once I got up and whatever, there was the ring. Remember I told you about the
Mm-hmm.
motion and things. So he grabbed him then. He had him still when I came down, but
you grabbed him then.
Right. Remember the ring is what triggered, because there was the first ring that wasn't. There wasn't anybody on the ring, or there was no one there. Because I think I went up and down, or maybe I don't remember if I went up one time and down, or up one time twice. I don't remember exactly, but I remember there was 2 alerts.
Sure.
Or 2 triggers to the door.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, so 2 triggers. I feel maybe it was 2 times, because the first time there was nobody there.
Okay.
There was no. Something must have set it off. Yeah. So, and then there was this. Lena was the next trigger.
Okay.
But I knew the next one was Lena.
Okay.
Because I knew the timing was almost perfect, and you can hear from our house when the bus hits its brakes.
Okay.
So I didn't have to go look at an app or anything with that, because I knew that, the timing was just the same as normal.
Okay.
That you can hear the bus is right there. You can hear, kids are on their way, like that type of thing. And
sure.
I knew it was Lena, and that was my first thing. I open up, I let Lena in, I had a conversation with her just like it was a normal day. But then that's when because I didn't want to be like, here, go. I did quickly say, here, go, whatever. But I wanted to not just open the door and be like, here, go right now.
Okay.
Like, I had to at least make a 30-second, 1 minute, maybe I'm exaggerating, 1 minute, but 30-second dialogue.
Okay.
Of, here, I need you to go get the milk.
Okay.
Or here, go, Daddy said go ride your bike, or
sure.
That
sure.
type of thing. Because later on, I knew she was going to have to eat snack at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured just that later on she was just eating. I figured out another time she eat snack. I was worried about getting her like, out and about that time.
when
I'm sorry, I should have given her a note. I should have given her a note.
We don't, we don't need to go into like what you should have done or shouldn't have done or anything else like that. Things are never perfect, and we can beat ourselves up for 100 years about things we should have done. Right. Okay. So that's not. I'm not here to judge you or anything else like that. I'm here to understand what happened and try and gather as much as we can so that we can help you and we can help find Ganon. Okay. When the attack was going on downstairs, you said you got hit? Your head got hit a couple of times. Were you hit anywhere else?
I don't. Probably. Yeah. Are you asking like punched or like?
Were you punched, slapped, kicked?
I don't remember. I don't remember being hit anywhere else.
Okay. Do you have any injuries?
I don't have like any specific injuries here because I was grabbing like this, like pushing up. Most of it was just like head. I don't want to say trauma, but head force on my head, and then the nerve in my like maybe spine or that part.
Okay. And then
I did like have like a little like this that little cut like right there was like bleeding.
Okay.
And then my nails, I know they look crazy now, but they were, and then of course that was a burn mark, so that was a little bit. So my nails were like that because when I get nervous, like I bite my nails or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that would have been from me.
Okay. Yeah. So you go upstairs, tell Lena to go, and then you go back downstairs.
Right.
And he still has Ganon. What happens next?
So he still has Ganon. Hold on. Can I be kind of try to
do what you need to do.
So he was the first time my body, and then he has Ganon, and I don't want to make sure he's not hurt, so I go upstairs, come back down. Oh, that's when he was asking. Well, he wasn't asking me. He was demanding different things. He was demanding I probably didn't tell you that earlier, but I do remember that now.
Okay.
He was demanding things from me. He was demanding me that I was not to say anything, that there would be consequences. He didn't say the word there would be consequences, but it was in a louder tone of direction of saying.
What exactly did he say?
I don't remember exactly. I just remember there was some sort of you gotta make sure you don't tell anyone at the door. And I had common sense enough to know if he had Ganon and has a gun that I'm not gonna make a stupid decision. So coming back down, at that point in time, I remember being I don't remember if I was necessarily pleading or asking. Ganon was saying help. I didn't have a weapon. I couldn't just go grab and he hurt him. So somehow, I don't remember exactly, but we end up being in it again, being in a commotion again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the second time that he was attempting to try, and that's when I kind of went completely on blackout, and I don't remember, I remember I told you he was demanding different things,
mm-hmm.
and I gave him a brown suitcase. I gave him a box that was in the room. He asked me, he demanded the brown suitcase. Well, he didn't demand the brown one, he demanded a suitcase, and I just gave him the brown suitcase.
Okay.
And in my mind, I didn't know.
Can you describe the suitcase for me?
I don't remember. I just remember we have 10.
Okay.
I just remember it's a brown.
Is it a checked bag, a carry-on bag?
Yeah, maybe maybe 27 inches, maybe.
Okay. So it's one you would check, not one you would carry on.
No, you can't check 27. You can only check 20, 21. So
checked is the ones that you give to them.
Right. It can't be over 21. Spinners or whatever can't be over 20. It has to be over 21. It doesn't have to be over 21 check, but if it's over 21, it can't be a carry-on.
Right.
So the bigger, but
so it was
not
a bigger one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I'd say about 27
Okay.
inches, or I say inches or whatever. And I thought he was gonna put things in our home in it, like
Okay.
take all of our stuff and like our anything that needed. I thought he was gonna like take the guns.
What did he do with it?
And take, like I don't know. I provided what he asked for or demanded, and then we got into it again because we were there sort of yelling, and I don't remember what we were yelling about, but it was just anything I could do. If I give you this, take everything. Can we just whatever, and
okay. And you said he wanted a box.
Yeah, he that was one of the things I'm trying to remember all of it. And that's why I said I thought he was going to pack our, like, whatever there was in our home. Because originally I didn't think that he was in our home to take, remember I told you I didn't think he was in our home to take something because he found a gun. But at that point I thought he was going to, like, clean us out. Or I say clean us out, take whatever he could.
Like steal things.
Yeah, like steal things from us because you can, if you're in Lorson Ranch and you're like, oh, I'm going to the airport, but it doesn't look like you're walking out the front door with a TV. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was my mindset of like.
Oh, so you think that he was going to, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like what you're telling me is you thought he was going to take stuff from your house and put it in the suitcase in the box and make it look like he was going to the airport.
Yeah, like
not like he was stealing from you.
Yeah, and I don't want to say specifically the airport, but like it looked like to
going
make
to
it
travel.
Yeah, so like in my mind I'm just thinking he's about to clean this out, but I don't really care. Take everything.
Sure.
That he wants to take. That was like in my mindset, and then I remember there was like talking or yelling, or I don't remember how we got to part, the second part, but I remember he wasn't able to. And of course, between all that, I mean, I wasn't running around naked. I had to put my pants back on.
Sure.
And and that was a awful feeling. Like, I mean, it wasn't like, I just ran upstairs and I had to, like, put myself back together.
What do you mean by put yourself back
like
together?
Like, my pants. Like, I couldn't. If I would have showed up at the front door or whatever with, Lena or anyone, I mean, I walk around in, like, shorts and all that. But I'm saying, like, it would have been, and like you say, we're not going to go on what I should have done, but it could have put off alarm to, this is what you need or whatever. But this is my daughter. Is it okay if I just let her? Uncle wants to. Okay.
Sure. Do you remember? So can you describe the box for me?
Just a brown box.
Was it like a cardboard box?
Yeah,
like a wooden box? Was it like a metal? Like, did it have stuff in it?
Yeah. But no, like there was nothing in it, but it was just your regular like shipping boxes. Like that's why that makes common sense of I'm putting stuff in there, and but he could have easily have gotten that himself, but he would have had to have let him again go. But that was his way to have control of the situation.
Sure. And where was that box at before you got it?
In our storage room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that where the suitcase was as well, or?
Yeah, I got the suitcase and the box, and I was saying things because I did think he was going to rob us. Like I say, like take all of our stuff, and I started out with being like, upset about being robbed, but then it was like take anything you want.
That sounds really scary.
Yeah, it definitely is, because in my mind I'm like, but I knew if I'm given into the situation, then I can get what like what I would expect the result out of it, which would have been that everybody would have been safe, and he's going to get what he wants. And clear intentions was he saw someone that he wanted to take advantage of.
So you give him the stuff, there's another altercation,
Right.
and you said he couldn't, and you kind of trailed off.
Yeah, like he couldn't at that point in time, like take my pants back off. Like it wasn't like the first time.
Okay.
Because I was more of in a like lackadaisical thing at that point, because once we were like, when I hit my head the next time on the thing, I think that hit some sort of spot that I don't really remember after that. Like,
where was Gannon when that?
I don't really remember
altercation
after
happened?
that. That's where it kind of was. Everything from then is a blur, and so it was me telling you that was like, what do you mean you don't know what happened after that? And no one's going to, understand that unless they're there in that moment that I don't remember.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I have to ask the questions, right? Because if I don't ask the questions, then somebody later is going to be like, well, what happened? What happened next? Where was he? And
Right.
I can't say, well, I didn't ask, right?
Right.
Like, I have to ask the question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't saying,
Yeah.
I was just saying,
Yeah.
like in general, not specifically you,
Right.
but
So if I ask a question, I'm not trying to, like, make you feel bad or anything else like
Right.
that. I'm just trying to understand and make sure that we cover everything.
Right.
Okay. So you say that you hit your head again. You kind of don't know what happened next. Do you remember, or I guess, can you tell me how this ended?
I just remember, like, being out of it, but I could also, like, in my mind, like, I could hear, like, loud banging,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember, I couldn't see, like, what was going on, or anything like that. It's almost like I could hear a little bit of a struggle, but I don't know what was going on.
Okay.
And that for me is hard because I need to know, like, and I hope that cause like dreams, I'm like, maybe I'll dream and remember what was going on, or maybe I'll have like a recollection later of, oh yeah, I remember this, but I clearly have been pounding my brain to give it to you about like exactly what was happening.
Sure.
At that.
Sure.
At that point in time.
What's the first thing you remember after this incident, after the attack, the second attack?
I just remember being like, where's Ganon? And I was freaking out because I didn't know where he was at.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything that would have told me, and I thought he was hiding.
Okay.
Like I thought maybe he was in the closet or somewhere hiding, so that he knew, like he would be okay, like away or whatever. I thought he was hiding.
Okay. What was the first thing you did after this happened? So
I was calling his name because I did think he was hiding.
Okay.
And at that point in time, once I realized that he wasn't hiding, I went into that mode of like, okay, I'm gonna fix this.
Help me understand how you understood that he wasn't hiding.
Well, because if I am saying to him that I assumed that everything was, I didn't see the guy in my like sight,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that he was hiding, like in my mind. So like I didn't see the guy, so I'm assuming he's hiding. So then I'm asking him, like, Ganon, where are you? Ganon, I'm assuming he's hiding. So then I'm asking him, like, Ganon, where are you? Ganon. I thought maybe he was in the closet or somewhere hiding, so that he knew, like he would be okay, like away or whatever. I thought he was hiding.
Okay. What was the first thing you did after this happened? So
I was calling his name because I did think he was hiding.
Okay.
And at that point in time, once I realized that he wasn't hiding, I went into that mode of like, okay, I'm gonna fix this.
Help me understand how you understood that he wasn't hiding.
Well, because if I am saying to him that I assumed that everything was, I didn't see the guy in my, like, sight. I'm assuming that he was hiding, you know, like, in my mind. So, like, I didn't see the guy, so I'm assuming he's hiding, so then I'm asking him, you know, like, Gannon, where are you? Gannon, where are you?
Okay.
So then when I realized Gannon would come out, or, again, I can't say we do different things at different times, but if Gannon thought it was safe, he'd come out. So then, in my mind, to be honest with you, when I said I'm going to fix this, I thought Gannon was still hiding. So when the detectives, like, searched the home, I really was hoping that's what was going to happen, and he had been scared to come out because he didn't know if it was safe. Okay. Or maybe if he was, like, you know, had hit his head or something after what I don't remember, he could have been, you know, somewhere hiding, and maybe he got, I don't know. I don't want to make assumption of how he could have maybe not been aware or alert. My thought process was, when the guy said he was going to search the house, that I was going to find him, like, we'd find him, that's when it really set in that I didn't know where Gannon was at.
Has Gannon ever hid in the house before?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, they played little, like, back and forth of, like, you know, like, hide behind the sofa or, like, boo. But it's only, like, you know, a little bit of time. But but we don't have, like, a violence of, you know, him seeing another man hurting someone. So I would think in that moment he would have been hiding.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you. Nothing more, no play. I appreciate